my map. So it seems like Restream has technical issues. So, well, Restream is working fine, but Restream chat has issues. So Restream chat is not working right now. So I have all the chats open, but it's a little inconvenient. So yeah, a little annoying. I will have a hard time reading chat, I think. Well, I will be able to, but it's just gonna be a little bit inconvenient. Hi Fishy and hi Samuel, welcome back. Hard time reading your name. Can I zoom in here? Okay, I can. Oh? Can't. Yeah, okay. Oh, that sucks. Okay, Twitch chat is readable now. YouTube chat is... eh. Okay. Okay. So... yeah. I ticked a few boxes here because I decided I'm done, but now that I think of it, I'm probably not. Like, I'm actually working on tile collection again, but it was in the process of actually working on this. So I started with Were you not? Oh, wait, give me a second. It always does that. For some reason, it doesn't remember the window until I open the settings once. So I started on Factory with a method called generate next step, and I realized in order to test that, I need to be able to compare tile collections. And so I started implementing equals for tile collections, or tile collections rather. Well, both, I guess. So I added the equitable. So to tile collection, I added equitable tile collection. So I have to implement that now. Why did I add this here? Don't really have a good reason for that. I think I can. I mean, I can keep that, but also get rid of it. I'm not sure if I need it. Doesn't hurt. Let's keep it. Let's keep it. Probably not gonna do anything though. We'll see. I mean, if I'm comparable to tile collections, I'm always equatable, not comparable. If I'm equatable to tile collection, then I'm always be equatable to tile collection. So there's no point in implementing this. This makes no sense. Let's get rid of that. Okay, so right now. Oh yeah, that makes sense. So right now I'm writing a test. It doesn't succeed yet. But I want to write the test first. Or the tests, rather. So basically, what I want is that two tile collections, they will be immutable. So if they have the same content, they should be equals. So I can, yeah, make proper comparisons that way. So I need that. So compared to itself, the collection should obviously be equals to itself. Compared to false or some other object, it should fail. Or not a tile collection object, I guess. Collection equals string. False. Right, this is a weird bug in the... This is really weird, I noticed this earlier. There is a weird bug here. Can fix it by doing this, which is just strange. So basically there's a weird bug in the nullable reference types compiler here. So this is the new C# feature I mentioned yesterday or 2 days ago, I guess, where you tell the compiler if your reference object or your instance of a reference, your reference to a reference type is supposed to be nullable or not. So collection here is supposed to not be nullable because it's defined in that way. If I want it to be nullable, I put a question mark here. Oh, question mark here. There we go. Um, I don't want that though. So, and the compiler tries to keep track of that. Basically, if you change the type, if you make comparisons and stuff like that, it will make assumptions. And it actually tells you the assumption. You can't see that right now, but there's a pop-up here when I'm hovering over this part, which tells me collection is not null here. So he knows it's supposed to not be null here. The weird thing is, it's making wiggly lines here, and it tells me that collection may be null here, and that the difference of a possible null reference is happening here. And that makes no sense because collection didn't change between those two lines. If you get rid of this line, it will actually remove the wiggly. I think the reason is that he realized I'm comparing to null here, and for some reason he thinks that changes, like that this is like what it is supposed to do. Like what it is supposed to do is if I say something like collection null in an if, and then I put this in the if, it's supposed to think that collection is null in here because we can only enter this if collection is null. So I assume it's for some reason thinking this is an if or something similar to an if. Oh wait, it is. No, it isn't. Wait. I think it can. I think the compiler knows what asserts do. Maybe. So if it would be equals to null, then this would return true, and then we would fail. So I think it's still a bug though. So if this would be true, if there would be true here, then it would make sense to tell me, yeah, this is null now, because if it's not null, then this line will throw, and we can never reach this line. So if I write it this way, then this must be null here actually. The thing is, the method is called as false, and will do quite the opposite, or exactly the opposite. So this is just a bug here, I think, and the weird thing is I can't fix it by doing this. So. That's really strange. I'm not sure. Maybe I'm missing something here, but I think it's a bug in the analyzer. So is there something else worth checking? In equals to object. What did I check here? You checked to a different object of the same instance. I mean, I could do that. But I could also just do that. No, I'm going to do that in a different way anyway. So we're going to keep it this way. And I think we can start... could start implementing this, but I don't really want to implement this yet, because that will be implemented with the other check. So let's write the other test first. Test method public void equals to tile collection. And here, basically, what I want is assert is true equals to itself. That makes sense. Also, yeah. Now I want a different collection that has a different content. So the initializer puts that thing in. If we just do something else, well, let's check two different things. So I'm gonna create an equal collection. Is a new tile collection with tuple, and then you coordinate. Was it 2, 3 or what? 2, 3 and tile 1. Okay, so 2, 3, new tile 1. Innate. Here we need the... I actually have a tile class now, so I could get rid of the test tile, really. Why is it complaining though? Oh no, it can't, because the test tile actually has an ID, while the tile class doesn't. So let's use the test tile for the time being, because I can actually compare that. Is the restream chat still broken? Yeah, apparently. Oh, that sucks. Well, that sucks. By the way, is anyone ever watching on Steam? Probably not, right? I know people do it if I end up on a store page because I'm doing like a sponsored promotion or paid promotion. But I don't know how the discoverability is. Like, I think it shows up on my profile or something, or in my group, in my curator group. Let's actually check. I'm not sure. Let's see. Steam. Wait, I have Steam. No, Steam. Where's my curator? Actually, I have a... Yeah, this should be it. Okay, it doesn't show here. Doesn't show in the group. Vince, maybe? No. Okay, it doesn't seem to show anywhere, really. Not even on my... No, it does not on my profile. Now, Fishy just linked me my screenshot of my profile. Yeah, it doesn't show up. Would assume that it shows up somewhere, but apparently not. So how are people supposed to find the Steam stream? My friends can see it, maybe? Oh, I don't know. What is the discoverability for Steam streams? I have no idea. It's not even on my profile page, nor on my group page, so that's really weird. I don't know. Doesn't really matter. Any of you know? Feel free to tell me. Anyway, so now these should be equal. So basically this is not reference equals. I want to implement value equals, obviously. So I want these to be equals. This test tile implementing equals. Yeah, it does. Like, what I'm thinking right now is that this test might not be strong enough. I actually need an I tile here that's not equal. That's not implementing equals. Why is test tile implementing equals? Is there any point in doing so? I think I use it in other tests maybe. I mean, yeah, I do. I mean, they have to be... No, wait, never mind. No, that makes no sense. Just forget whatever I said about equals. They obviously have to be equals in some way. Because the collection is checking for tiles being not being equal. So they need some equality. And if it is reference equals, but it doesn't, the collection doesn't matter, it doesn't care about how they are equal. They just have to be equal. But that reminds me, I probably want I tile to implement I equatable as well. I do that right now, I think I get lots of I equatable to I tile. I probably get some. There we go. Yeah, so we have that, but it's not implemented yet, obviously. I also wait. How is that? If I I also need to override equals. Obviously, or this is not actually helping at all. Can I force them to override equals? Not really. Wait, how is? No, wait. Is this? Yeah, this method is actually being used by things, but it makes sense to still override equals. So generate. Oh no. Comment this out. Then generate equals and hash code. Based on nothing right now, really. Don't implement the operators because they're bad, or they would be very unintuitive on a reference type. And then implement all of this. Well, don't implement this really. Yeah, we don't need this. Get rid of it. And then I need tests for all of those, and obviously I have to implement them. Test tile. No, not test tile. Tile tests. There we go. Tests for equals. Not gonna write them right now, but let's put it down so I don't forget it. So we were actually trying to do this here. So now I want a different collection. So let's do that. That just has like a. I mean, do I actually have to? Can I just do this? No, that gets long. I mean, still, no, that's better. Oops. I'm gonna do it. I do it. This. This. Oops, I what happened here? Wait, what's the hotkey for that? Control T, I think. Yeah, there we go. So we can do it similar here. So now we assert as false and equal it to a different coordinate. We also assert false. It's the same coordinate but a different tile. And we also assert false that there are with the two, basically with two coordinates in there. How many brackets? And one of them being the same. I have to write this a little different. This. I think the brackets are off. Yes, it's hard to read. How do I do this properly? Trying to get the formatting down here, but I have a weird way of doing formatting, I know. But I hate certain things. So I came up with my own shit, which is probably bad actually, but I don't know. I don't think it's that bad. It's just, I don't know. I'm not sure about it yet. Like, it's usually good to conform to standards when it comes to in general, but especially when it comes to formatting. But I really hate the regular formatting. Like, what people usually do is like something. What would people do? People would do. All right, let's fix the code. People would usually do something along those lines, and I really hate that. Oh, actually, like this, I think. I really hate that. I think this looks horrible. Like, there's no way you're understanding what is passed to what here. Like, this is impossible. So I think I'm gonna use this one. That makes sense. Like, I'm not happy about these stacked brackets here, but it makes sense that they're like, okay, this opens this one up and this closes this one, and this is just all the closing ones for these. Like, that's still fairly easy to understand. So I'm gonna go with that. Oh, by the way, this is gonna be a short stream today. I'm promised to myself that this is gonna be a short stream because I don't have Coke out here, so I'm gonna get tired in an hour max, I hope, so I can go to bed and actually get a good night's sleep, because I didn't have those the last 2 nights, and it's not a great situation to be in because I have to work tomorrow. Check his restreams chat back. No, it's not. That's annoying. Very annoying. Doesn't seem like a lot of people are chatting anyway, though, so it's not too bad. Okay, so is there something else I want to check? It's equals to itself. It's equals to a value, like its value equals, or it's equals to a collection that has the same values. It's different to a collection that has a different coordinate, different to a collection that has a different tile, and it's different to a collection that has the same coordinate tile combination, but also another one. There's one more. It's different to an empty collection. That's a good check. Actually, put that first. Test collection. Okay, good. Now about implementing this. I should probably have done it like step by step. Like, add one assert, make sure the method actually completes it, then make another assert. I don't know. Would have been a little weird, I think. So let's actually start. So this one is going to be like, this one is depending on this one. So I'm going to do this one first, and this one should fall in place because this is probably correct already. So it should be equals to itself. That's gonna be checked by this one as well, though. So we actually start with this one. It should be equal to another collection that has the, yeah, it's all gonna be one step. We just have to compare the content, basically. So and I cannot trust the, let me try something. I'm gonna try something because I want to see if it works, but I'm not gonna keep it. I'm gonna try. Why is this complaining, by the way? Why is this? Why? This is pretty. Equals object as tile collection, and then this one is expecting null. It isn't. Why is it using this equals implementation and not the other one? Right. Coordinate. Yeah, this one. It's way nicer. That one, please. Okay. Why is that not this not covered by a test? Could be covered by a failed test. Wait, why do the core? Oh yeah. Okay, testing broke. Why did the testing broke? This is not actually implementing its interface. That's why the testing breaks. Yeah, we don't need this. Can get rid of. Actually, we're gonna keep that because I actually need that. And I'm just gonna throw an error here if I cannot compare it. So I don't have tests for this yet. I think I need to do this first because this will kill all the other tests if I don't. So wait, I don't need tests for this. This is actually a test tile. Never mind. I just have to implement this. So if the other is a test tile, then compare it to that. There we go. Okay. So much equals. I'm going a little crazy with all the equals checks. But I want a robust type system for the base here. And I want an immutable type system. Because I think that's a good idea. Or at least I want to try if it's a good idea. And I need good equals comparisons, comparability in that case. Like, it makes sense to have immutable types be equals. Wonder if I should make these things structs, actually. Like I say, a downside to make this a struct. I don't know. Okay, so this one seems correct. What we have to implement is this one. So I have to compare this to another I tile collection. So it's gonna be an I tile collection, so I cannot just check it to tile collections tiles because this is not part of the interface. It's just part of tile collection. So if it's a tile collection, I compare it to this and we're good. But there's no point in doing that because I also have to implement it for I tile collection in general, which I can access because, or I can access the values because it should have like. It has. I can for each it and get the key value pairs basically. Right. Let me check really quick. There are people out there who did this before me. I don't have to do it myself. C# equals dictionary. Yeah, I upvoted this, so it's probably good. Oh, I remember this. This was clever. Wait. dict1 count is dict2 count, and dict1 except dict2 any. Yeah, this is not actually dictionary specific, but this works because a dictionary is an enumerable of key value pair, and so if they have the same amount of thingies in there, and if I remove all elements of dict2 from dict1 and nothing is left, then they're obviously equals. Key value pair will also implements equals on the key and the value, so that should work. So let me write a helper method really quick. Wait, why is this code? Let's make this code not break first. So the program is actually compiling because I'm gonna do another jump. Gonna go one bracket deeper in the thought process or in the work process. Not gonna do anything with this yet, so it's to do return false. Now I'm gonna go to common extensions and write an extension for and if I could do all of this somehow that I don't get the red. So what is a good work process for the kind of stuff I'm doing right now? Like the thing is, I want to implement A, and I realize in order to implement, so I write tests for A, and then I start implementing A, and then I realize, oh, in order to do that, I need B. So I write tests for B, and then implement B, and then while implementing B, I realize, oh, I need C. And so I do the same. I write tests for C, and then I implement C. And all the time, all the tests for A and B during that process still all fail all the time because A and B are not implemented yet, but the tests are there already. So how do I change that? Because I would like to have green check marks here when working here. Like these check marks are not because of an issue in this method. They are here because this method is being used by another class which has failing tests, basically. Or maybe even the test uses it. So, I mean, I could stash every time I get to the next step. Could stash away the changes and do the other thing. And then pop. Oh, that actually makes sense because the stash is a stack, so I can just pop it afterwards. So I can do that. Yeah, that's probably good. I should do that. Okay, let's do that. Okay, so how do I? So where did I actually start? Can I do this without? Can I stash part of the changes? I think I always have to stash everything, right? Can I? What's a good way of only stashing a few changes? I could commit everything in a temporary commit. Everything that I don't need, temporary commit. Then reverting that. Yeah, I think that makes sense. Let's open the list for that though, because if not, I'm gonna go crazy. So I started with the factory. And did go. I know what, we're gonna go do it simple this time. And do it properly next time. So all this is one stash now. So what I need is a method that tells me if two collections are equal, basically, right? Yeah. And just wait, that's dangerous. Has equal children. And this can be enumerable or collection. I need count, so wait. I guess I can do this on enumerable. Let's see. God damn it! Oh, I forgot the T. That's why. Okay. Let's write a test for that. Should be able to write this for enumerable. If not, I'm just gonna change the test afterwards. But it should work. I don't even have to change the test. I just have to change the other thing. So I can just do something like you actually can get rid of these, right? Do this. Assert is true. Array empty int has equal children to add spam. Or not spam. God damn it. Adds. There we go. Has equal children to another array dot empty int. This should be the case. Also to actually, let's change the order around. Oh, yeah, fine. It's better formatting. You're right. You're right, Visual Studio. This is better formatting. Get rid of that space. So this should be true. And yeah, and now we can have a few failing ones or false ones. Equal children should not be the same as an empty array. Also the other way around. So important. Hi, greetings, Scar. Welcome to the stream. Long time no see. Should also not be equal to, well, an array with different content, obviously. So or with one missing, maybe, or an additional one. So do I swap this around? Yeah, I guess that makes sense to swap this around. Like there could be, you could write, it's fairly easy to write a bug if you do it this manually, like iterating through the thing. It's easy to write a bug that applies to this but not to this. That makes sense. To check that, and now I'm gonna also check for this. There's no point in swapping this, obviously. So this looks good. Okay, let's implement it and see if it just gets all of this. So source count equals other count, and source except other is empty. Bam. There we go. There we go. That's a neat implementation, and it succeeds on all these chests. Wait, why is there an ad again? Fucking hell. So that's cool. That's done. And now I commit that. Added as equal children to common extensions. Close. Then I apply the stash. Wait, I pop the stash. What is my hotkey for that? Extensions take stash pop doesn't have hotkey. Okay. So now we have all the changes. Thinking about, so what was I about to implement? Why did I need this? Tile collection equals. So these are the failing tests. This test is not actually failing. Side effect tests for this are not actually failing because they're not existent yet, so that's good. But yeah, it doesn't really matter that. Well, actually, you know what? How do I do this? Oh yeah, I stash this. Stash all of it. Then I apply the stash, but don't pop it. Stash list. Stash apply. Okay. Now I should still have to stash, but also have the changes in here. But these two are basically equivalent. And now we're gonna check what we want to keep of that. So I changed iTile to be equatable. That's a current change. Same goes for this. Connected to this. Okay, so basically get rid of all of these. Yes. Then can I do this, or is the stash gonna act up? No, don't stash pop. Oof. Stash changes. Factory. Factory dot get generate next step. Okay. Wait, what did it do with the others? What happened? It doesn't show this here. Wait, dash list. Okay, the other's still there. Good. I was a little scared for a second. So now, yeah, now I actually apply the other one again. Stash apply. And now so in order for a tile collection to be equatable, I need at least a test. Well, I don't need the tiles. I need the tiles to be equatable. Yeah, the context menus are not captured, Greetings Guy, no. It's because of window capture. I think it should be fine in most cases. Ustream chat still down. Down. Very annoying. So actually, for the tests to complete, I only need test tile to implement all of that properly. I mean, I'm missing the test for a tile. As it's not quite true. But actually work on iTile first. So yeah, let's reword this. Let's reword everything that's not connected to tiles. No, the other way. No, let's reword everything that's not connected to. Yeah, it's not connected to tiles. Yeah. And then actually do the tile thing first, and then we do the rest. We revert all of this. No. Wait. Oh, goddammit, I did it wrong. Didn't actually put them. Weird. I want to stash the collections, so I need to get rid of everything that's not the collection. Go. Okay. Now I stash these changes. Again, tile collection equals apply the old stash again. Got a conflict. Because of these. Apply the old stash. Okay. And now I delete or revert everything that's not tile. And then we do tile first. Tile, test tile. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Okay, I think this is a proper way of doing these things, because yeah, I'm running into these situations where I'm going deeper and deeper and deeper, and like keeping all the tasks open. Like start with task A, realize I need B first. Start with B, realize I need C. Start with C, and while working on C, having all the changes of A and B there, which is A, bad because there are so many changes in one commit at the end, and also bad because I have failing unit tests lying around, which makes the whole thing a little bit annoying to work with. So, okay. So we actually have, what do we have now? We have iEquatable on iTile. So that means that tile and test tile have to implement that. Test player already implemented it. I don't have to test this because this is a mock. So this is fine. But tile also has to implement it in a way, which you can't do yet, I think. Well, actually, no, it's fine. It's just gonna do reference equals, because that tile is not actually identifiable yet. Like, it doesn't have any identifying property or anything. So I'm just gonna do reference equals. It should be good for the time being, anyway. So I'm gonna go to tile tests and write some tests for that. Tile already has the methods. Yeah, it has equals to object, equals to iTile, and get hash code. Why is it get? No, don't implement get hash code with 0. That's not great. That's not great. So yeah, I'm just gonna implement them with reference equals, and we should be good. So what I want is test method No, this is this is not a good idea. This is a recursion, infinite recursion. Can I do this somehow clever base get hash code? Should work. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's what I want. I want to see. Okay, so test method public void test. No, public void equals to object. And why is this the dump implementation again? What's up with that? It wants, like, it generated the awesome implementation here and then never did it again for some reason. I want this one. I mean, I should do this before, after writing the tests, but eh. Okay. And now I need the same tests as I did for the other one, basically. I wonder if you could, like, if you implement, like, I'm writing the same tests over and over again. Is there a proper way to generalize this? Like, if I have equals to the interface, like, to at least generalize these two rows, probably some way. Let's write them first, though. Oops, did I close this? Equals to null, equals to string, equals to a different one. Equals to itself is missing actually here. That should actually be in here. I think that's important. True. It's equals to itself by cast it to object or to nullable object. And left unit testing died for a reason. Greetings, Scar writes, you hash to 0. You hash to 0. Everyone hashes to 0. I mean, hashing to 0 is never wrong. That's the cool thing about it, right? Because the only rules, or the only rule that applies to a hash code generating algorithm is that if the objects are equal, they have to have the same hash code. And if all objects have the same hash code, or all instances have the same hash code, then, well, that rule is always correct. So returning 0 is never false, never wrong. Or returning always 0, I should say. So, oh, tile, just tile. Yeah, I'm not allowed that too, yeah, but I'm gonna do that anyway. We could create an empty one or something. Let's just go with null. It's not relevant for the test. This is just imposed. So assert is true. Tile equals object tile. Then we need is false. Tile equals null. Wait, why is it? Oh, it's calling the wrong one. I have to cast this as well, I guess. And then tile equals the string is false as well. That failed already. Oh yeah. Should probably put that at the end of the test because it makes it easier to see that the rest is actually working. And now we have this issue again. God damn it. This is really weird. No, it's not null. Stop. It's not null. Thinks it's null for some reason. I don't know why it thinks that. That makes no sense. That makes no sense. I'm just gonna put the true at the top and deal with it. Okay, so let's start simple. Well, if we're here, let's put all of them in. No, wait, I have to do it. Do the other one here first. It's false tile equals new tile, because they're supposed to be a reference equal. So now we implement this method. Oh, this one is fine already. Actually, we need to. Is this something I want to test here? Why would I want to test this here? Would we want to test this in equals to tile, right? This is not even calling the correct method. Okay. I should write this one first, I forgot. So, okay, so if I want to test equality, yeah, that's the word. So it should be equal to itself. I mean, there is a point being made to actually have to test this, but with a cast. Like, what I want to test here is that it actually calls this the other method. But I think that's not the correct way to do this. I mean, I could start working with the mocking thingy. Oh, that's gonna be annoying though, because it's not gonna catch the internal calls. Actually, if I mock the whole thing, it is not mock, but whatever the word is. Like there's a frame or a library I used before. It's called Fake It Easy. It allows you to create like basically like it allows you to create mocks and whatnot, but it also allows you to create like to either wrap an existing object, so you can check the calls, or like if calls have been made and with which parameters, or it allows you to fake a whole object, but using the existing logic. Which might be beneficial here. Let's write like this right now, and then let's write down the to-do actually. Somewhere. Let's put it here. To define codes tests. Also, no, not good. I know this is not part of it. Well, we can. I mean, I can still. Don't have to do this in order, right? Right. Helper for common test scenarios. Codes. So greetings, Scar writes, I don't practice C# and have never seen the syntax object ! Property dot property. Is this purely for type checking and doesn't do anything special during runtime? I have never seen anything similar used in practice. Yeah, where did I use that? The exclamation mark is not actually, the exclamation mark is just the dammit operator. No, it has a different name, but that's the unofficial name is the dammit operator. The exclamation mark is just gonna make the compiler shut up. The question mark operator is the interesting one. Because they introduced that, well, there's a difference between, let's do some learning C sharp with TH-Pine. So basically, what I'm trying to say is there's a difference between this and this. And it's not just that one is an int and the other is a string. So this is a thing. So the question mark behind a value type, or behind an implement, no, behind a value type, behind one of the default value type. If you do it for your own, it doesn't. No, actually, it works for others as well. I think in general, yeah. The question mark behind the value type is a thing since C#. I don't know, 4, 3, I don't know, long time ago. Basically, what it does is this is a different type to int. It's a wrapper, like it's a nullable int. It's a wrapper class. That's actually still a value type, I think. Yeah, it's a. I think. I'm not sure. That's I can't remember. I think it's. No, it can't be a value type because it can be zero. It can be null, obviously. No, it's actually never null. Is the funny thing. It just equates to null, which is weird. But anyway, this is, well, it's whatever. It's like if you're coming from Java, it's similar to writing integer with the capitalized I. It's similar. It's not exactly the same. It's a little bit better and more clever. But that's a thing that existed forever. Putting a question mark behind a reference type, that's a new thing since C#8. And it's called the reference, the nullable reference types. Yeah. Oh yeah. Don't confuse this with another thing. There's this other thing where you can be object or new object. Let's do new object question mark dot to string. That's something else again. Like here, okay. Here, this is just a syntax sugar for check this for null. If it is null, return null. If it's not null, call to string. So that's something else again. Like this is something else. This is another use of the question mark operator. They're all connected to null, but in different ways. So this is the new thing. The question mark operator behind a reference type. It's called nullable reference types, which makes no sense. The naming is just dumb because, yeah, reference types are nullable. That's a default in C#. Well, they changed that kind of. Like there's an opt-in flag since C#8, which you can set in your CS project file, which enables the nullable context. And it means that all of a sudden, if you write this, the compiler is going to assume that S is never null. And if you try to assign S null, it's gonna complain and tell you converting null literal or possible null value to non-nullable type, because it now says string is a nullable type, is a non-nullable type. Don't assign null to it. And there are way more checks like that. If I put a question mark here now, it says okay, this is a nullable type now. This is fine. It's also gonna say if I do a test now, if I do something like if it should be complaining that you're never gonna enter this if block. To assign it first. Oh, actually. Oh, wait. Why is it not complaining? It should be complaining. Well, it's not. I don't know. I don't know all the checks, but in general, there's some compile time logic now that handles nullability and gives you warnings if you do something which it thinks is weird. It's not perfect. It's not 100% bulletproof, but it's pretty good in a lot of situations. It's not, however, going to change anything at runtime. So all of this is pure compile time analyzing and checking and giving you some warnings. And basically, if one of the warnings is wrong or unnecessary or unimportant in a situation, like here it's doing exactly that. Like tile is a tile constructor. Can you see this? Yeah, okay. So the tile constructor expects an immutable, like expects a non-nullable type here. There's no question mark here. So it complains now that cannot convert null literal. I know you don't see the pop-up, but I'm gonna read it out to you. Cannot convert null literal to non-nullable reference type, because this is a non-nullable reference type. If I put the question mark here, it's gonna stop complaining. There we go, compliance gone. But I don't want to do that, obviously. However, I know that in this special circumstance, I don't care that this is actually null, even though it shouldn't be. So what I do is I'm going to use the dammit operator and say, damn it, shut the fuck up. Or I like to call it the shut the fuck up operator, actually, or shut up operator. And there's a different name for it. I don't know what the correct name is. But one of the C# developers themselves called it the dammit operator. And I guess that's stuck with me. But I think shut up is even more fitting. It's the operator to tell the compiler to shut up. I know what I'm doing. So that's the exclamation mark. Okay. Okay, well, what else is Screen Scar is writing stuff? Syntax sugar just makes me happy when it's actually understandable. Yes, syntax sugar is great. Well, int question mark is just syntax sugar for an int that is nullable. That's not syntax sugar. That's a, well, I guess it's syntax sugar in a way, because int question mark is nothing else than nullable int. I think it's the class called. Yeah. So this is just not syntax sugar per se. This is basically an alias for this, and this class is super clever and does a lot of neat things and works very, very well, and it's way better than the Java thing. You could alternatively have integer like Java, which is not syntax sugar. Yeah, but it's something different. What are many variants of null and stuff like that? I don't say wrong. So this is an alias for this. So this is syntax sugar, but this is not. This is not the same thing as integer in Java. This is not the same thing. It's similar, but it's better and more elegant and more clever than the thing in Java. But yeah, it's basically a wrapper, but it's a way better wrapper than the Java one. Yeah. I'm not gonna go into detail, but yeah. And then as I said, this is something completely different, because this doesn't actually change the type of string at all. It's still a string, but the compiler will now check at compile time, or will make some additional checks at compile time now, regarding nullability, and will assume that S is expected to be null in some situations here. And if I remove it, it's gonna assume that it's not. But as I said, that's an opt-in feature. So if you take a look here, project file, I have a line in here in my project file, nullable enable, and that is what is telling the compiler to actually do that kind of static analyzing. I mean, yeah, Green Scar question quotes me with "but better." I mean, there's so many features in C# that are just similar to a Java feature but better, and I could go into detail why the nullables in C# are better than the ones in Java, but I don't want to make this into a hate Java stream, especially because I don't actually hate Java. I think Java is one of the best languages out there. It just happens that C# is even way better than that. But yeah, so where was I? Equals for tile. So I wrote down my thingies. Yeah, okay, good. So I can come back to that later. Now, let's write some tests here. So yeah, it should not be the same if it's not actually the same. So But if it is actually the same, then it should obviously return true. I think that's all I have to test, really. Okay. Let's implement this line here very simply, actually, by just doing reference equals other. Is that not the name of... Is that not what I typed? I guess not. Oh, that's the... No, I have to do it. Okay. There we go. Everything green. I love unit testing. I cannot... I know I say it every day, but it's such a good feature. It's amazing. It's freaking amazing. It's such a great feature. It's really... It makes unit testing bearable. Like, literally. Like, this is... so good. I have to get used to it a little bit, but it's really good. Welcome back, Fishy. Restream chat is still broken. Yeah. I want my usual chat setup back. What is your favorite roguelike card battler? Is Fishy asking. Slay the Spire, probably. It's really good. Oh, by the way, Fishy, when you wait, was I talking to you yesterday about all those different roguelike card games? I think I was, right? I played the pirate one. It's really good, and it looks like it has a lot of similarities to Slay the Spire. But I know what you meant when you said it's fundamentally different to Slay the Spire, because it is. It has some really different mechanics in some places, but a lot of the things are very samey. They basically they stole the game and then changed a few core mechanics around. It's pretty good though. I enjoy it so far. To play a little more to get a proper understanding, but so far it's fun. Okay, so tile done, right? Tile test already works. That actually has a different equals method, but that's fine. Not tile tests, the test tile. The test tile implements equals a little differently than the tile class, but that's fine. That helps me with testing, and it's a test class, so nothing wrong with that. And I think I can commit that and then pop the next stash. Or I go back and do the other things I wrote down, which is probably the better idea. So, changed iTile to implement iEquatable iTile. With all the consequences. So do I want to do this? No. Yeah. Gonna go to the bathroom really quick now. Okay. Okay. So I think I want to change this around though. Let's do the helper thing first. So basically, to put this in context. So we're gonna close all of this. I have this code, which is partially similar to, well, I have this code which is partially similar to this code. And I wonder if I can write a class that helps me to not be redundant. So how would that look like? So basically what I want to check is if I compare the thing to itself, cast it to an object, it should be true. I'm not gonna put that in there because, yeah, for reasons. Because that's too specific, and also I think I can get rid of that later. And I want to check it to a different type, and I want to check it to null. Different type is the tricky one, I think. Let's start with the other two. So we do another folder here. Utilities. And add a new class. Quality equatable tests. Tester. Test. Equatable test helper. Yeah, I think I'm gonna make it in. No, don't make it an extension method, but I'm gonna make it a static method that takes the thing. So public static void assert equatable. T. Wait, do I need T? I mean, yeah, because now I can go, can now say where T is I equatable to itself. Or do I want to check I equatable to a different type? That makes sense. Assert equatable basics. And now I can do something like assert. Wait, I need the object first. Let's pop this in the next line and have a T here. Item. And now I can do assert. God damn it. Is true. Item equals object item. Okay, good. Assert is false. Item equals no. Actually, I can probably get rid of the card. At least here I can get rid of the card. Actually, no, wait, I don't want to check equatable. No, wait, that's actually not what I want. This is not. Wait. So it equals to object basics. Here, better. What? How can item be null here? What? This is clearly not null. Weird. Hey Adam, welcome back. The nullable checks are all over the place. Why is it complaining that item may be null here? If this is the first line. Like, I understood the other thing partially. How can this makes no sense. How can item be null here? If this is a not nullable type, which he assumes it is, because there's no question mark. Makes no sense. T cannot be null because null is not a type, no. Sky writes that he doesn't see an assertion that he actually has a method for equals. It always has, because equals is defined on object and everything inherits from object. So it's just calling object equals here, which is fine because you can override that. I don't know why it is complaining here. I will have to Google if I'm the only one who has this issue. How do I Google this now? You should have nullable reference types. Is it because it's generic? What happens if I do object here? Because I don't actually need the generics here. That works, okay. Range. If I put a question mark here now, then it complains. Hopefully, there we go. That makes sense. Weird. Let me test something real quick. Oh, it's the same issue. We don't need the generic here, so this makes more sense anyway. I mean, I could put in a line like this: assert is false, item equals to a string. Problem: if item is actually the string a string, then this is true. I don't know. It used to be more stable. I don't know. It throws so many wrong warnings. I'm not sure what's going on with that. I think they broke something. Like, this is not the cleanest way to do it. Also, this should be a different type. Like, this is supposed to be a different type. I would have to... I think I'm gonna give it a different object. Now, it should be a different type though because of the... No, that's fine. Object, different different object. We're just gonna put this. So now we have some basics for checking the regular equals method, which is like, obviously if equals is not overridden, like if you take a class that equals is not overridden, then all of these will be true because then equals is reference equal. But as soon as you start overwriting equals, it's important to actually check these so you don't fuck it up. So public static void assert equatable basics. And now we do t item where t equatable What here can I check though? Angry. There's one thing I can check and I want to check. But I need some help with that. Not help, but well, yeah. Let's test helper. I'm thinking about, like, I want to what I want to check is that this is actually calling the other equals method. Like that, I want to check that if the thing is implementing equatable to itself or to a t, well, to in this case to itself, then the regular equals method should be overridden in a way that it actually calls that. Because if not, then you will have a bad time later on. Thinking of I probably can do that with fake it easy. I'm not sure if I can get it in here somehow. I mean, let's try. Manage NuGet packages. Fake it easy. It's faking amazing. Wow. This guy says, this guy asks what the bad case is. Okay, let me make an example. So let's say you have a class that implements equatable to itself, like this. And is it doing that? And now you have some special logic in here, like always return true. That's obviously not very clever. Like there might be some use case. So basically this means that every instance of my class is equals to every other instance of my class. So maybe like whatever, like it doesn't matter what is here. Important is that you have some custom logic for comparing the instances of this class to other instances of this class. So, and now you have now you call, let's actually make this a test method to show you what happens. So I can have two instances now. A new my class. B class. So why is it not running these tests? Does this have to be public? Is there a reason he's not running the test? Excluded? What? No. Why is it excluded? Oh, actually, wait. No, wait. Pass tests. It's still buggy, so I can't do it in this one. Why is it excluded? It's not. This is buggy. God damn it. Why? Include. Include everything. I don't know. Why is it excluding it from unit testing? Had that issue before. Stop it and restart it. See if that helps. No. Why is it excluding it? This makes no sense. Is it still running the other ones? Yeah, okay. Just not running this one. Whatever. I'm actually gonna exclude everything, but no, I can't. Wait. No, from project. Can I do it this way? Actually testing. No, but this, okay. Let's just go in here and do all of that here. No, it excluded this one as well. Are you fucking kidding me? Can you stop doing that? What? That's not what I wanted. Now it's excluded everything. It's so dumb. Okay. Live unit testing. Include. Include is just not working. I'm not sure where it writes this down either, so I'm not sure why this is not working. There we go. I got them. And it actually takes this one as well now. No, it's not. Never mind. Okay. Take this out of here. Put this over here. There we go. So, okay. Now. Fucking kidding me? Is this method excluded? Include test. Motherfucker. Okay, I don't know what is it doing, but we can just do this. There we go. Better. And now I can say assert is true. A equals B. This works because we have overridden this class. However, what is false is casting A, or doing a little different. Object O is A. And now O is actually not equals B. And that's the issue here, because we did not override equals to object properly. We now, you want this to be true, obviously. So let's write this test like this, and now the test fails. So what you need is public bool equals to object, and then do object is my class, and end equals like that, and then it still fails. Ah. You see many pitfalls. There we go. And that's obviously, if this is true and this is not, then you're running into problems later on and some really hard to track bugs. So it's actually important to test this. Okay, test, chat. What did chat did you do? Adam is asking what I'm working wrong right now. I was just showing something to this guy, and now I'm actually trying to. The goal actually right now is to do some helper class with testing, because I don't want to write the same test over and over again. So yeah, so this is why it is important to actually test that. I think that was a proper demonstration. So I wonder if I can somehow do this in a clever way. Still not sure why this is complaining. Oh, shut up. Why? It doesn't even shut up when I put the shut up operator there? Why? It didn't do that earlier. What's your freaking problem? What? I'm so confused. Whatever. So I added fake it easy. So I should have the A namespace here. Fake it easy. A fake. So how do we do this? Can I say a fake T? Does this actually work? There. What are options? How did this work? Well, I have to check the doc. Cool. So what do I want to do? I have to check that first. So I want to fake an object that uses the underlying logic. So that's a thing they can do. So fake it easy docs. The docs are pretty decent. They're not very long, but they get most of the things covered. So what can we fake? Default fake, how to fake internal. Property setters, prevent invocation of a delegate. Call to any massive property. No. And wrap methods. The default calls to a wrapping fake that have not been explicitly configured before to the wrapped object. Yeah, I don't want the wrapped fake though. I actually want to fake the whole thing. Here, configure all of the fakes method to use the original implementation. Applies to classes. Calling base method. The call space method configure method can be used to make a method execute implementation of the faked class. Shows how smart is called space method. Configuring a method to call it space method only makes sense when it's actually implemented, so this technique cannot be used by class method or on any method from a faked interface. That makes sense. A faked object method told to call its space method will throw an implement. Configure all method at once. Here. A fake candy shop option call space method. Yeah, that's exactly what I want. That's exactly what I need. That's exactly what I need. So it must be a reference type, yeah. Okay. So now we have a fake of T. We're gonna do this. Yeah, this. So. Because now I think I can actually get the call. Like the thing is, I need to see if the call has happened. So if I call item equals object item, I need to assert that that's true, obviously. But I also need to check that it actually called the other one. So, why is item of type T assert that how did you do that? Wait, no, assert A call to item dot equals how do I specify which one? No. Default T. He says the default expression can be simplified, but it can't. To remove that, it calls a different equals. Oh, it doesn't. Interesting. Oh, because it's more specific, I guess. A call to with any argument. Let's try that first. Maybe we specify that later. Happened. Must have happened once exactly. So I think I can do this. Let's see. Let's just try. That's the easiest thing to do. So equals to type call equals test helper. Set equatable basics of the class tile. Ah, damn it. Tile, yeah, wait, I have to change that because it actually needs two different. The thing is, tile doesn't actually implement equatable to itself. It implements equatable to itile, so it doesn't match this condition. Can do a different. Oh yeah, wait. We can probably do TS. I'm gonna rename them in a moment. t is equatable to s, and t actually implements s as well. That makes sense? Yeah. So now I should be able to say tile, iTile. Ah, it fails. God damn it. Why? Fake fails already. Okay, the fake creates an exception. Failed to create fake of type Pionactory tile. Below is a list of reasons for failure per attempted constructor. Constructor with signature. Duk. Failed. No constructor matches the past arguments for constructor. I have to give it constructor arguments. Yeah, why? How do I do that? I'm not even sure if this is gonna work. This might not. Like, the thing is, okay, let me explain what I'm actually trying to do here. So there is an option. Like the naive way of doing this would be to say we build a wrapper. So a fake of t that actually wraps the thing. Wrapping and then a t, right? So we would have it. We would pass an item and we would wrap that. The thing is, if you do that, if the item calls one of the methods on the item calls another method on that item, this is not gonna show up in the fake because we're only wrapping. And I think, but I'm not 100% sure, that if I do it this way, it will actually show up in the call history here. I'm not 100% sure yet though, but we first have to get it to work properly. So I have to tell it which, well, okay, to do it, we can, to just test, we're gonna add an empty CTOR here that complains that structure and resources are not set, but that doesn't matter. Does it still break? Failed to create fake type below is a list of reasons. Constructor with signature failed and constructor matches the past arguments for constructor and exception of type was caught during this call. This mention was cannot create proxy for type Pictionary because it's not accessible. Make it public. What is with this constructor? Why is it not calling that constructor? Which constructor is it trying? Constructor with signature set. Why is it not trying the other constructor? Or is it listing that later? It's not. Why is it using the wrong constructor? What? Why is it not using this one? Specify arguments for constructor. I can try that. Let's word this. Wait, something. Brackets are off. Valid for method takes 2 arguments. Why not? What does it actually take? It takes an an enumerable. Why did I not have like an... Well, actually a constructor call, okay. Specifies arguments for the constructor of the fake class by giving an expression with the call to the desired constructor using the argument to be passed to the constructor. Okay. So I should be able to oh wait, I can't do that here. Let's put that CTOR in again. Oh wait, that doesn't help. Damn it. Why is this not working? I mean, I know why it's not working, but I have to... Constructor is too complicated. Oh wait, I can just do... Oh wait, I can just do this, right? That should be fine. Still fails though. Okay, what is actually T? T should be tile, right? Yeah, any reason it wouldn't call the overridden method? Well, if you program it wrong. Or what do you mean? So T is... Tell me what T is. Damn it. Doesn't tell me what T is. Locals. T. T's tile. Tile has a constructor of that type. It's public. Oh no, wait. I guess I have to give it to... What is this? Yeah, enumerable object. No, I cannot have them be... no, it doesn't match them. Can I just do the empty one and pass it an empty array? No, neither. Oh, you read most of my comments a few minutes late. Okay, sorry. Okay, I can't get this to work for some reason. It's too bad. I'm not sure why it's not creating the thing. So it can either take an enumerable of objects, an empty array, for example, or an expression call, which I can't do because I don't know T right now. This is weird. It might be failing because we're in a generic here. This failed already. Why? Was for some reason cannot create a tile. Maybe we can. Okay, let's try the other way. New object array. Okay, wait. Can I? Do I just have to cast it? Is that enough? No. Do I actually have to put a object in there? What if I want to call it with null? Something is wrong here. I don't know what it's doing. It's calling this the wrong thing. Well, we can try to check what it is doing. Break it here. Bug the test. Try to step into it and see what the decompiler has to say about this. Steps out. Too bad. Oh yeah, actually I have to step into this. Which is probably gonna be a mess. Can I step into this though? But I should be able to. Maybe not. No. Can I do the following? Tile and then give it the constructor here. This fails already. Why? Why does this fail? It just fails to create the thing. I don't know why. I don't know. This is weird. This is really weird. I don't know why it fails. This should work. I did this before in a different project. I don't know why it's not calling the or not finding the constructor. Something is off there. This is really strange. Can't really make sense of that. No, I can't think of a reason why it shouldn't find the constructor. It just failed to do so for some reason. Let me check the exception again. Failed to create fake of type Pionactory tile. No usable default constructor was found on a type Pionactory tile. But there is a default constructor. Not accessible. Needs it to be public. It still doesn't work. And I might have to recompile because it's... Aha! I think it actually runs now and just live unit testing didn't catch up to it yet. Yeah, okay, now it works. Okay, so, okay, good. This works now. Can get rid of this again. Class wasn't public. I didn't realize. So we can probably just do null here. Yeah, okay. So, and now it complains that test method tile test equals to test for exception. Is that fail actually here or is it in the... No, it fails. This line fails. With test method equals to type to exception argument except object false of type boolean is not recognized as a fake object. What? What? I knew this wouldn't work. It's this one, isn't it? No. Object fault of type system boolean is not recognized as a fake object. Why bool? What? What is he doing? Debug this. So item is a proxy. And default T is null. Just fine. What is your freaking problem? The exception message is not helping. Object false of type boolean is not recognized as a fake object. What? I probably don't see this window. Oh, you see the window. Okay. No, an exception. God damn it. What is this? To be some... different error message. It's not recognized as a why? What? God damn it! I hope this would have. I had hoped this would be easy. I can't split this line. There's nothing I can split here. This is one call, and I can't put it. I mean, I could. No, this has to be a. No. This has to be an expression. Like he's not actually executing this. Maybe this is the issue still. Just gonna put null in here. say... Do we have the default constructor now? No, I don't. Doesn't matter what is in here though. It should ignore that and do with any argument. I'm not sure what it is doing. Never saw that error, and apparently the developer didn't saw it either because it didn't catch it. Object true of type boolean is not recognized as a fake object. You should... Okay, what is the other way of calling this? Call specification, object fake. Oh, wait. No, I did it wrong. Sorry. That's the issue here. I have to do it this way. The current proxy are not cannot intercept the method equals for the following reason. Non-virtual members cannot be intercepted. Only interface members and virtual shit. Bam! It worked. I'm not sure if I want to take all these issues though. Because now the classes have to be public and the equals method has to be virtual, or it will not work. But it works. I'm very happy about that. That's really cool. And now let's actually do the... Let's actually do the sanity check. If this actually takes a T, and this just wrapping this, and then we call... I need nothing. And I give it a tile. Yeah, it starts failing at that point. Oh, it fails here though. Not what I was expecting. Fails at the... Oh yeah. No, wait. Why does it fail here now? Default fake behavior. By default, calls to a wrapping fake that have not been explicitly configured will be forwarded to the wrapped object. Okay. What is it actually calling here? Like which method is being called here? So we're in tile. Check, there's a tile. And it's not this tile? Apparently not. Oh, yeah. I know what happens. Oh, that's funny. Okay, so item wraps blah. And when item equals gets called, it calls blah equals. Past itself. So blah now checks for equality with item, which obviously is false because item is not blah. So this should actually assert to true, but then this one fails. Yeah, because it doesn't find the call. Yeah. So yeah, that's exactly what I wanted to test. So the wrapper is not intercepting the call, the internal call. I can only do that by completely faking the object. So this works, and it's quite clean. With the issue that T now has to be public and the equals method has to be virtual, which is both not super terrible. I'm not sure if I want that though. I know. So this is kind of neat though, because now I can just do. I can do this and maybe get rid of the other stuff and whatnot and do some, like, simplify that. But I'm not sure I like the implications of this. I mean, having the equals method be virtual makes sense, actually, in most cases. If I ever want to inherit from that class, which I probably don't, but if I want to inherit from it, it might be important to override equals. The class being public is annoying. That's actually very annoying. Like, the thing is, I see the class. If it doesn't, like, the trick right now is, like, this is a different project than this anyway. So the reason I see the class in a test project in the first place is because I defined the test project as a friend project, basically. So I said internals are visible to test project. So that's the reason why the test project can see the class in the first place. But apparently that's not enough for Fake It Easy, which needs it to be public. Let's double check that this is actually still true. Oh, yeah. Right. Decompile. Some changes here. Public, save, compile. Live unit testing is getting a little confused with the cross project stuff. Apparently. So see if someone else had that issue. Make it easy. Internal object. Or not. Internal and what's that called? Attribute. Yeah. Better error message when fake in terms without internal visible to attribute. Wait, without? When internal visible is set, we could easily create a fake in internal interface. Else. For sure, all you have to do is add to the project with contains the internal interface. Doesn't work for me though. Might be because it's a class and not an interface. Yeah. Yeah, that's the issue. It would work with an interface, but not with a class. But I want to test the class, obviously. Testing the interface makes no sense. So, kind of stuck with that. I don't know. I think I'm just gonna repeat the code then. Is there an other way I can do this somehow? No, not really. Like, I have to check that the method is being called, and I can only do that when I fake the whole thing somehow. And that's apparently not possible for public, so I'm gonna save that as a work in progress and think about that the next time. Too bad. That's a little annoying. That's a bit annoying. Don't think I actually need that down here. So we don't need those. Yeah. I mean, I can just stick to what I did before and call this. I can probably ignore this one. Probably don't need that. So, like, this check is probably unnecessary, to be honest. What are the others? No, this is this one. Yeah, that's the one I did not do here either. So, can just go here and say, equals test helper tile string, and then get rid of all of those, and just hope that this check is actually enough. Like that this check where it calls equals to itself actually calls the correct underlying equals. Don't want it. Actually, let's keep it. So yeah, I'm gonna stick to that. So let me actually did it baddie. Just realized. Well, not too bad, but we send master to this mixed. Let's get rid of fake it easy. So we have this one already, and I can think the next time about if I want to simplify a few of those as well. Testing died. But I think these will be hard to actually replace. I mean, I could write it. Before I forget that, I could write it. No, let's not do that now. Edit equals test helper. Well, let me write it to do in here. Do assert equatable with a method that helps doing the essential tests. Commit. Now I have to force push because I pushed earlier. Okay. Okay. Hey, Dax BBM, welcome back. And Bad Boy Christian asks, so you like to reprogram stuff? Not really. Quite the opposite, actually. Not sure what you're referring to. Bad timing for you two to join though, because I'm gonna sign off now. I think. Oh, by the way, if you're still around, thanks for following Kazami MC. Yeah, this is good. I have to apply this more thoroughly, obviously. Yeah, I have to wake up tomorrow, Fishy. You're right. I'm gonna go to bed now. So yeah, again, thanks for watching. Probably gonna do this again tomorrow. If I don't feel like doing something else, but likely that I'm gonna be back tomorrow. So yeah. Thanks a lot for watching. Have fun and see you next time. And thanks for keeping me thanks for talking to me, asking interesting questions and whatnot, giving your opinion. So yeah, bye bye.